and welcome to Artwork Winona for April. Here's our show. Sit back because it's a big one. We've got the Minnesota Marine Art Museum leading off. We have Carrie Frederick and Caitlin Crochet talking about all that's happening all throughout April. Next up, we have Eric Hoykasoven, and he's here to talk about what jazz is happening here in this town with the St. Mary's University Jazz Combo Orchestra, and also their choral ensemble and their chamber orchestra. And then we have Nate Nelson from Tree Dome, and he's going to tell us about what's happening with the rock and roll scene and some of the great things that are happening in the venues that he's booking and Tree Dome is taking a part in. And finally, we are going to talk about education in the arts with Jamie Schwab and the Minnesota Conservatory of the Arts, who's having a reschedule of their piano recital, but then their upcoming dance concert set to classical music with all sorts of dance, including a little hip hop to Beethoven. So if that's not in April for you, I don't know what is. We'll be back in just a minute.
Stay up to date with Winona Area Public Schools by watching Making the Grade here on HBC TV 25, presented by Cost Cutters. Join me, Superintendent Rich Dahman, each month for interviews with administrators, district staff, and students. Tune in to Making the Grade Monday through Friday here on HBC TV 25, brought to you by Cost Cutters of Winona, located in the professional building in the Winona Mall Annex.
And first up this month, we have Caitlin Crochet and Carrie Frederick from the Minnesota Marine Art Museum, and you have so many programs to talk about. So let's start with Second Saturdays first,
yes,
if we could.
Our next Second Saturdays event is going to be Saturday, April 13th. The theme will be a longer look, slow art day, where we're encouraging our visitors to take a longer look at some of the artworks. Yeah, take a little breather, see what things they notice when they take a little more time.
Great, great. And tell, for those that may not have seen what Second Saturdays is, can I just make a plug real quick
Sure.
here? Go to Second Saturdays.
Yes.
It is the most amazing deal ever. It's $1 per person to get in to see masterpieces, have programs, spend a day in one of the best museums around for $1. Now,
Yes.
I'll let you describe
Thank you
it
to
better.
the Minnesota State Arts Board for helping us fund this to be able to offer this great programming for $1. But this month we have artist Anna Metcalf coming to do some tea conversations alongside her exhibition that she has had up within the museum. And
And
it'll
is
be a
that
lot
the
of fun.
porcelain
Yes.
pieces? Oh, that's
Yeah,
such a
so
cool.
you can sign up the day of to join her for those tea conversations, and if you get a spot, you get to take a piece home.
What? Really?
Yes, I know, very
wow,
exciting.
of the hanging pieces?
The
Or-
teacups that are on the
Okay.
shelves.
Gosh, it's such an amazing exhibit.
Yes.
But that's only one thing
That's
that's
just
happening
one
now.
component.
Throughout the rest of the month, there's all sorts of opportunities.
Yes, we have upcoming, so Toddler Tuesday is the second Tuesday of every month. It's just $2 per child, and then caregivers, adults are free. We have lots of programming for the kids, art projects, and it's a nice way to introduce the littlest ones to
My
the
gosh, so
museum.
that's an even better bargain. It's $2 a kid, and everybody gets in. Okay,
Yes.
that's amazing.
Yes, so that's the second Tuesday of every month. We also have a great program with Sarah Johnson, who's a local artist, Art of Living and Riding the Wave. She does it from 10 a.m. to noon it'll be on April 6th, and it does require RSVP, and it usually fills up, so register in advance.
And then some current exhibits that are there.
Yes, we have Anna Metcalf, which Carrie mentioned, beautiful ceramicist from the Twin Cities, really interesting installations that she has, and that will be through the month of April. And then right now we also have Maria Svarbova, who is from the Ukraine, and from Slovakia. She does these really urethral, gorgeous photographs of women in swimming pools.
Yes, and they look sort of out of time, even though they're modern.
Yes.
Like they feel like they could be from like 1940 or something.
Yes.
They're very stark and sort of minimalist and kind of haunting. They're really cool.
They are. They're gorgeous. And this is her first. She's really achieved quite some notoriety in the Europe and Asia, but this is her first U.S. exhibition, so we feel really lucky to have
she's
this.
a big deal, and we
She
got
is.
her.
We did.
Yeah, very cool. You know, people don't understand how amazing this museum is. I mean, that you're able to see these contemporary artists juxtaposed with some of the most important master painters of all time, and then some American schools of art, like the Hudson
Yes.
School of Art, and of course the Washington Crossing, the Delaware, which everyone goes to see. But it's such a, there's an Audubon, there's all these things that you just go, oh, I never knew that we had that.
Yes.
So I just say over and over, I can't say it enough, if you have not been to this museum, just take a day and go. It will really, really sort of send you through the whole month just excited and, you know, the power of art and what it does. And that it's in your backyard,
Yes.
you know, is so wonderful. So second Saturdays, we want to make sure, and then go to the website
Yes.
and look at all the other programming
Absolutely.
that's happening. So that's mmam.org, am I correct?
Yes.
And so we'll have you back on, I'm sure, when the next big
Definitely.
exhibition's open. And again, that second Saturday is all about taking a moment and taking your time to look at artwork. And you're open from, is it 10?
10 a.m. to 5.
To 5, and there'll be music twice during the day,
Yes.
correct? Do we
Musicians.
know who the musicians
Not
are
yet,
this time?
but we're
We've had everything from Irish music to cello to violin
harp
to
circles.
chamber.
Yeah.
So
It really
and
is.
if you haven't heard the music in this gallery space, it has the most beautiful acoustics too. So if nothing else, for $1, you go and listen to the music. You get 2 concerts. But you'll look at the art too. Anyway, thanks for stopping by.
Thank
It's
you.
really
Having
great
us.
to see you guys.
You as well.
We'll be back in just a minute.
Warning, what you're about to see is disturbing
Baffling.
and gross.
I want to spit this out of my mouth right now.
That's why they called in the experts.
What do you focus on first?
Whoa, look at this. Holding it with a spatula.
They say burn, I say smoky flavor.
We taste the food, so you don't have to.
All new. Worst Cooks in America. Sunday night at 9. Only on Food Network.
What is that?
And acid.
In the beginning, there was dial-up. Slow as syrup dial-up. When 3 megabits arrived, it felt like riding a cyclone with your hands in the air. Until 100 megabits sent you surfing with glee on a cavernous pipeline of bits and bytes. Which brings us to 1 gig. That's 1,000 megabits per second from HBC. We're about to break the internet speed barrier. Your home deserves the fastest internet. Get gigabit internet today from HBC. Internet redefined.
And we're back with Eric Hoykasoven, one of the premier jazz players around and an incredible teacher too. And he's got 2 hats to wear today. The first is what's happening at St. Mary's, so go ahead and jump in with some of that.
April, of course, is the end of our school year, and we try to postpone those concerts as long as we can. So the last weekend...
Give them a reason to fail their finals, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, give them more practice time. We have a weekend of concerts the last weekend in April, starting at 3 p.m. on Saturday the 27th is our chamber orchestra. The chamber orchestra has been going now for about 10 years. It's mostly strings, about 15 to 20 players.
Wow.
And they are coached by a wonderful violinist from the Twin Cities named Baco Liu. And Baco comes down twice a week and works with the students. He plays also in a string quartet called the Meadowlark Quartet.
Oh, yeah.
And the Meadowlark players are our artists in residence, and so they will be playing alongside the students at the concert.
At this concert? Wow, what a great opportunity.
It is, and that is in the Filio Recital Hall, the smaller space in the Performance Center. Then Saturday night, that same evening, our concert choir and chamber singers will be in the Chapel of the Angels on the old St. Teresa's campus. That concert begins at 7:30. I don't know all of what he's programming. I hear bits and pieces when I'm in rehearsal, but it's always a wonderful concert, and the large choir mixed with the smaller chamber singers. I'm sure the chamber singers will do some of the music they did on tour. In fact, I know they're doing the piece that I wrote for them.
Oh, nice. The
as
premiere.
It's not the premiere. We premiered it.
Well, I mean the one that just premiered.
Right, the one
Yeah.
that just premiered. And I made a few minor additions and additions, and so Patrick is going to program it again on the 27th.
So it's the premiere of the read.
Yeah, it's 2.0.
Yes.
And it was just accepted for publication too.
Oh,
so,
congratulations!
Thank you. And then my hat, the jazz hat, our jazz concert, the final concert, not the final concert. I'll talk about that in a minute. But the last full concert is on Sunday the 28th at 3 p.m. in Page Theater. We're calling it One Small Step, Jazz in 1969. So it's 50 years looking back at a very pivotal year in jazz history. We see sort of the end of the bossa nova era. We see big bands going away in smaller groups. And we see the rise of not only jazz fusion, but jazz kind of working its way into pop music, and pop music working its way into jazz.
How does bebop fit in with
bebop? Is pretty much done by, we're into the post-bop or hard bop era by then, and we are doing some Horace Silver on that concert, which will represent that. I have a number of seniors graduating, which is a little scary. But I've let them pick a couple of the tunes, and one of them, I grew up in this time frame, is 25 or 6 to 4, which was the Chicago hit, right? Sure. And I said, yeah, we can do that, because really that shows how jazz and, say, a 3-horn front line is represented in the pop world. They're doing a nice job. I have an alum who just graduated in December, a wonderful guitar player named Ben Albus, who's coming back as a guest artist for this concert, and he's going to play the guitar solo on that and on Santana's Black Magic Woman.
You're doing Black Magic Woman?
We are, yes.
And this poor gentleman has to do the guitar?
He's already learning his part.
Yes.
I said, listen, and listen.
How cool.
Yeah, and then I have my 2 singers that were on tour with us, Liam Hahn and Aaron McCoy, are going to sing as well. So here's a interesting tidbit.
Before, I just want to say, so in one weekend, you can hear every type of music probably except rock and roll.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going from some beautiful classical music to some incredible choral music, a brand new piece, and then this incredible moment of jazz, sort of what would be classic jazz now, but
no, it's true.
In its day was cutting edge.
For sure. We try, I think that's the wonderful thing about universities, is that they can be that diverse and offer those different options. The vocalists. So in 1969, Ella Fitzgerald sang Hey Jude at the Montreux Jazz Festival.
Oh, wow.
Unlike the Beatles version, of course. So I found the video and I gave it to our soprano vocalist, Erin, and she is going to channel Ella for us on that tune, and I think that's going to be just a really a showstopper.
So you're hearing Santana, Chicago, and the Beatles in a jazz
setting, right?
How cool is that?
And then we're doing some Chick Corea. We're doing
what happened to George Benson? He's later.
Yeah, he is actually. He would be late 70s, early 80s. He was playing them, but he was playing straight ahead jazz. And we're doing. There's a couple of notable deaths in that year. Paul Chambers, who was the bass player with Miles Davis for many years and with Coltrane. We're doing a piece of his. Coleman Hawkins, a wonderful tenor player, passed away that year. And we're doing
Was that Smokin' Joe Hawkins?
Yes. And we're doing a thing that he co-wrote with Thelonious Monk called I Mean You. So it's kind of a survey concert, but it really gives us a chance to stretch out.
And those students get a chance to play some of the gamut of emotion and the gamut of range of music, and
absolutely, it's fun.
And they're being challenged. Now, before we run out of time, I don't want to miss the H3L concert.
Right.
So.
The Jazz Jam is happening the weekend before, which happens to be Easter.
Okay.
We talked about it last week when we played the March event, and they said, "Are you okay playing on Easter Sunday night?" And I said, I think that would be great. People might want to get out. And that runs from 6:30 to 9:30 and is open, of course, to everyone who wants to come and play or sing or simply come
And you literally can
watch.
just come down, sit in, and
That's how it works.
Yeah.
We have a clipboard, and we like people to write down their names so we can kind of reference them on stage. But yeah, and we bring some music in the form of fake books.
So that's Easter Sunday,
Easter
and then the
Sunday.
following weekend.
Following weekend is all the same.
And jazz until jazz doesn't have anything left until May.
Well, and then, yeah, right, and then we have a jazz final the first
Right.
weekend in May.
Okay. Well, it's always great to talk with you.
As
Thanks
you-
for bringing
thanks.
so much music to our community.
We keep trying.
And we'll be back in just a minute.
Be sure to check out US Golf TV, where you are going to see golf products that you have never seen before. You're also going to see golf tips from some of the leading instructors around the country that are truly changing the way people are teaching the game and challenging the status quo. Also, you're going to see fitness tips that are revolutionizing the way PGA Tour pros are training their body and swinging the golf club. If you want something different, if you're looking for some new information, US Golf TV has it. Be sure to check your local listings. US Golf TV, we've got you covered.
And we're back with Nate Nelson. He's president of Tree Dome, one of the hottest organizations around. You're booking so many music events. So I think, April, we might have a few things to talk about.
Just a couple, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, where do we want to start?
So I guess the big thing is, so we're going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary at our new studio on 3rd Street.
My gosh.
So we're going to have a bunch of events going on.
Diapers?
What?
Pampers? It's 1 year.
Well, we've moved a lot of like pull-ups.
Oh,
at
okay.
least,
You're in the
so,
pull-ups. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a bunch of shows happening, both on our kind of anniversary celebration, which is on the 13th. It's also Record Store Day, so we're gonna have a bunch of deals in store for records, merch, a bunch of other stuff. But we have some shows going on that day, some that will be announced over the next couple weeks. And then we've got a bunch throughout the month as well.
So for those that don't know, describe what Tree Dome does.
Well, Tree Dome is a kind of a multimedia entertainment production house. So what we do is we kind of service artists. So we do music stuff, recording, booking. I'm a photographer and videographer myself. So we kind of cover the whole gamut of like music and art in
And
Winona.
spoken word and poetry. And,
Yep, visual arts. Because we never really wanted to be in our own little corner and do like one thing. We wanted to do everything, which has its own difficulties, but we find that it's easier for artists to collaborate when
And
everything's
everything
on the
from
table.
recording to producing to graphic design to websites. You're like a one-stop shop for creative people.
Yep.
Okay.
And then there's always the events, which is a big aspect of what we've been doing. But so a couple of the bigger events too, aside from our 1-year anniversary, on April 11th, we have Topo and the Chemist playing at Ed's No Name Bar, along with Fires of Denmark from Rochester, and then Music for Ghosts from here in Winona as well. Actually, they might be from Decorah. No.
They're not from here because I've never heard of them.
Well, I don't
So
think
they
they've
must
played
be.
here.
Okay.
But in addition, on April 18th, we've got Constellation Band coming down from Minneapolis for a jazz night, along with the Deceivers Duo out of Rochester. And then
They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. They're a blast. We've also got shows at Island City every week. On the 6th, we're gonna have Luna Loca. On the 13th, we'll have Jacob Grippin. On the 20th, we'll have bluegrass band Gin Mill Hollow. And then finishing out the month on the 27th, we're going to have In the Attic.
Okay. You pulled it there. You found it. I knew you were there. That's a ton of events just for 1 month. All of that can be found at your website, I'm assuming, and you
Or
have a
on our
calendar.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook's probably the easiest.
Facebook is.
Yeah.
So make sure you like Tree Dome. Is it just Tree Dome on Facebook?
Or at Tree Dome MN.
Okay,
But
great.
it'd be just Tree Dome as our site.
So can you take just a second and tell me how Tree Dome came about for those that don't know?
Well, I mean, it originally started with me and a couple other artists in town. We just kind of started collaborating naturally. We started making videos, doing shows, just like planning things out. And we realized that it was something that could work. We wanted to kind of take it to the next level. Instead of just working with just us 5 or us 6, get as many artists involved as possible and do as much as we could in the scene. So instead of just doing 1 or 2 shows for the bands that we work directly with, we want to work with as many bands both here, up in Rochester, Decorah, La Crosse, Minneapolis, and just kind of bolster the music and art scene in here and just kind of work through collaboration. Because the best way to get better at your art form is to just do more stuff. And it's easier to do more stuff when you're doing it with other people.
So you're exactly what we want in Winona. You know, you're an organic business that started out of some creative people saying, you know what, let's see if we can make this happen. And so far, you're 1 year in, you're still making it happen. Many of you came out of Winona State University, which is also dear to my heart, that we're having creative people choose Winona not only to come to school and do their creative work, but then to maybe stick around after school and say, you know, this is a kind of fun place to live.
Right.
Let's try to make a home and a sort of name for this community. We already have an incredible music scene and people know it. So the more that we can exploit this and the more that we can get out into the region and let people know that there's a way to make a living as an artist out of the city, the better. So we're really excited and proud of you guys. And I know Shutdown Third will be coming up, your second one of those.
We're starting the planning there.
So if you have any interest at all in helping out or sponsoring the Tree Dome guys with their Shutdown Third event that'll be in September, and always visit their Facebook page so that you get a sense of what they've got cooking. Because there's something every week that you guys are getting your hands in.
I think we're going forward with at least 1 show a week now. Sometimes
That's really
2,
great.
sometimes 3, sometimes 5. It all depends.
Yeah, and you're the go-to booking agent for 3 different venues now, which is really cool. Island City, Ed's, and Broken World.
We're partial booker at Broken World and Ed's. We have a few dates. They have their kind of main booking. And then Island City, we do all the booking for. We do all the booking for our own studio for obvious reasons. And then we also partnered with Minnesota Marine Art Museum to help with them booking their second Saturdays events.
Very cool.
And then so our next big year, like this next year, our main goal is just to kind of keep moving on that and also keep kind of getting to the business community too, because everybody needs art, everybody needs design, everybody needs video stuff. And it's good to have a place where people can come and find artists.
Thanks for rolling up your sleeves and getting to work here in our town. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
We'll be back in just a minute.
What's a Southern girl? It's waking up before the sun rises. It's loving the simple things in life like the dirt roads that lead you home. It's working hard to get what you want. It's hanging your own stands, breaking your own ground, and strategizing every little move for that one moment when everything you've worked for is standing right in front of you. Even if I fail a million times, I keep pushing myself till I'm exhausted, filthy, and about to give up. And that's when the adrenaline hits.
And I can't think of a better way to wrap up our show than with Jamie Schwab. Jamie is the managing director of the Minnesota Conservatory for the Arts. And we spend quite a lot of time talking about next generation artists. And you are really at the forefront of that for Winona, because these are from what age?
We have everything from 18 months up through
So you can't get much
adults.
younger than 18 months. And then you get all the way up through adults, and you're working on programs with some of our seniors, right?
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
We're in
you
nursing
run the-
homes and running some special programs at MCA, thanks to some grant funding as well.
I mean, you know, nothing warms my heart more. So tell us the special events and the things that are happening in April.
Yeah, so April's a really busy month for us. We have our dance repertory company doing our annual dance concert, and this year it is called Classically Speaking, and it is all types of dance set to classical music.
So everything from
ballet
to hip hop to
ballet,
all to
hip
classical
hop,
music.
tap, all to classical music.
Wow.
We do have a contemporary ballet that has a Greek myth of Artemis and Orion. I had to make sure I was getting the right Greek myth. And it's all set to Schubert music.
Ooh.
We have hip hop and jazz funk set to Beethoven. And
Because when I think of hip hop, I think
right,
of
you think of Beethoven,
Sure,
don't you?
of course.
Right. And yeah, so Mozart with tap set to Mozart, as well as we also bring in tap dancers that also play instruments such as violin and piano
And this
on
is
stage.
all in one concert.
All in
right?
one concert.
It's not like you go one day to get
Nope.
paid to. So you're getting all of this dance
Absolutely.
to all of this type of music in the
Yep.
same concert.
And only
Wow.
$5 for students and seniors, and $10 for adults that attend, and it's
And how
going to be
many
an awesome
participants?
show.
So I would think.
About 40.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
would say get your tickets early because
Right.
those are going to go.
And it is up at the Page Theater, which is
Uh-huh.
just beautiful, because we're an affiliate program of St. Mary's
Of course.
University, and so we're just so lucky that we're able to use the beautiful Page.
Great.
Yeah.
And then you have another program, right?
Yeah,
A
so
redo.
redo.
Okay.
Last month, if you watched Artwork Winona, you heard from Christopher Michelle, who is, he grew up born and bred in Winona, but is now living in the cities. And he was going to be coming to do a piano concert, but the weather didn't play nice.
Yes, no, we had a blizzard.
Yes.
So.
So he is rescheduled now to come on April 14th, which is a Sunday at 6 p.m.
And there will not be a blizzard on
Nope,
April 14th.
nope, it is forbidden. So yeah, so we're really excited that he's going to be coming back, and he's doing Liszt and Schubert and Bach. It's just going to be a beautiful concert. I got to hear him practicing, and it's just, he's phenomenal.
And it's a benefit. So that's
Absolutely.
the most important thing. So you're
Yeah.
hearing beautiful music, but you're also helping this organization.
Yep, you're helping support. The biggest thing is we are building a piano lab, which is a class for students to take piano in a classroom setting, which is just a different way. It's a way to be around others and share your love of music and learn something new.
So instead of the little recital room, you'll be in a room with
it's
more
actually
than...
going to be in where my office is currently.
Yeah, you
and
don't need an office.
Right? I'm moving. But it is just, it's going to be really exciting for us to be able to offer this new programming, but we do need just a little bit more support. We got a wonderful grant from the Carl and Verna Schmidt Foundation of Rochester.
That's great.
And so this is just to kind of help out just some little extra things that we need to be able to make it possible.
Some pianos,
Yeah.
some keyboards.
Right.
Yeah. That's great. And so you also have some things coming up, some classes and some spring sessions,
Yep,
right?
so we have our May-June session that's coming up, as well as our summer camps. So registration is open for all of those, and we have camps and classes for 18 months up through, well, we have classes up for adults as well.
And
So-
I know I'm sort of boring about this, especially if you follow me at all on Facebook, but the arts change young people's lives, and they actually imprint and do things that help them in so many other ways. People know that the science and the math and the all sorts of other areas are enhanced if the students take art at a very early age. And that can be dance for the discipline and the rigid, the physical benefits of that, but it's also music and it's also fine art.
Yep.
And you do all of those things at MCA. And so I just encourage you, if you have a young family and you're looking for something constructive to do, look at the MCA website, because there's a little something for everybody.
Yeah, and arts really do build life skills, you know. So they are things that, yes, they'll learn a skill on how to, practice the art that they're studying, but they also are building life skills in so many different
There are all
ways.
sorts of studies
Yeah.
now where literally people are saying, when we recruit, we're looking for people with an arts background because they're better public speakers, they're more used to working in communal situations.
Learn
they
to go
can
with
be
the flow and adapt.
Right.
And
And they could also be incredible introverts, but they also know how to work with others. They may have just a more passion for certain types of work. So, why not get that started as early as possible? So the Minnesota Conservatory of the Arts, it's affiliated with St. Mary's University, and all sorts of really great programming happening. So check their website out.
Awesome, thanks.
Thanks for stopping by, Jamie.
Yep, thank you.